be able to return for some time. The girl replied that then she had a request for him. She has a cousin who owns her own company in Hannan, but lately she has been in trouble and someone is deliberately trying to spite her. So she asked her for help, and the girl, like her cousin, couldn't just sit and do nothing. Therefore, the girl sent people there several times to help her. But the guy who is bothering her has some authority there, so her people got good stars from him and returned to Huzhou in disgrace. So she didn't even know what to do. That's why she wants to ask him for help. Li Taishuan replied that they are not strangers to each other, so of course he will help her. The girl said that her cousin's name is Jiang Xinran. She is from the Jiang family in Hannan province. But speaking of her family, I was very lucky. Initially, this family was one of the best families in the province. Her uncle, her cousin's father, was once the respected head of the family. But a few years ago, in order to protect a friend, her uncle was almost beaten to death by a more powerful family, so now he is being treated for many diseases. This caused the Jiang family to regress to an ordinary, third-rate family. They are now in dire straits and are being watched by other families in hopes that they can easily absorb them. As he replayed the girl's words in his head, he couldn't believe that the Jiang family were relatives of Ouyang Pei. Then, when my father came to Huzhou, Ouyang Pei looked after him in every possible way, and as a parting gift before leaving, she gave him a good watch. Since he was reborn, the girl has been kind to him, so perhaps he will repay her for her kindness. It seems that this trip to Hannan was destined for him. A guy walked into the carriage. He said that they were really so used to his luxury cars, private yacht and plane, but today will be an unusual trip. He went on ordinary public transport, full of hillbillies who cannot even afford a plane ticket. It's terribly cramped and stinks. When suddenly, Lan Wu attracted his attention. He said that she has beautiful horns on her head. The guy is streaming now. He has tens of thousands of viewers. Let him say hi. And how about letting him touch these cute horns? Having touched them, he was surprised. The guy said that they were like real ones and very pleasant to the touch. How much did she pay for them? How about selling them to him? Lan Wu shouted at him to go away and not bother her anymore, otherwise he would tear off his hand. The guy said that you couldn't fool them. He specifically screamed in pain to put on a show. Having hit his foot on the suitcase, he immediately began to show his subscribers and say that he had found a dirty, broken suitcase and some poor man. The guy asked, "Did he find it in the trash?" The suitcase is so dirty and shabby, such garbage should not be lying on his road. And then he kicked the suitcase. Li Taishuan told him to put the suitcase back. The guy asked the subscribers, did they hear him? He had the nerve to ask the guy to put back his broken suitcase that he found in the trash. He can't believe that their people can't even afford a bag. If he forgets, he will be merciful and give him some money to buy himself a better bag. Wang Xiao said okay. If subscribers ask to step on him, he will step on him. He asked if the guy knew who he was. A streamer, and now he is live. One extra word in his direction, and in a minute he will fly around the entire internet. Li Taishuan just shouted for the guy to get out, when suddenly he flew several meters forward. Wang Xiao didn't understand what the hell. Where did this strong wind come from? Suddenly, the guy's phone rang and his beloved appeared on the screen. He said that he was lucky. Next time he should not dare to show his face, otherwise he will regret it. Picking up the phone, he asked, "Is your beloved already on the way?" She and his best friend are waiting for her at the Eastern Station. The guy is already on his way, and the province is only a few hours away. He told the girl that he ran into a fucking loser. This is a bad omen. Lan Wu told the owner that this man's impudence has no limits. She will get rid of him now. The guy replied that there was no point in killing all the insects on the way, let him leave it. The girl said that she should have immediately broken his arm. Suddenly, a thought came to her mind. She told the owner that she needed to go to the toilet and would be back quickly. Having absorbed all the magical energy of the mountain god, She can now freely change her appearance. Lan Wu hasn't even told the owner about this yet. Turning to the guy, she said that it was a long trip, maybe they could have fun. Wang Xiao said that he is truly a great internet streamer. The guy is not only handsome but also popular, even in such a place. Beautiful girls themselves fall into his arms. He told his subscribers to watch carefully which beauty he would be having fun with in a minute. Lan Wu dragged him into the toilet and closed the door. He told the beauty not to be so persistent. Did she really want to do something exciting with him on the way? The girl replied that this is for sure, something that will be really exciting, after which Lan Wu began to beat him. A few minutes later, she threw him out of the toilet. The guy started screaming for someone to come to his aid. 2 patrolmen from this train approached him. They asked what happened. Did someone beat him up? Pointing to the door, he said that psychopath, cruel woman, tall, black-haired in a red dress, should not stand there and grab her. The patrolman immediately began knocking on the door and telling the person inside to come out, as he was accused of assault. Opening the door, they saw a little girl. She asked what they wanted to do with her. The girl just went to the toilet. The patrolman told the guy that he must have made a mistake. A little girl could not have beaten him like that. Wang Xiao shouted that it couldn't be. It was the cruel woman who was in the toilet. Where did the girl come from? Where is that cruel woman who just beat him? The patrol didn't ask the little girl. Did she just see the older sister with black hair and a red dress coming out of there? She answered her uncle that she was alone there. There was no older sister. The girl was just a child. How could she hit someone? He shouted that it couldn't be. It was a little girl with horns on her head who recently almost broke his arm. She must be in cahoots with that woman. She must be captured. The patrolman grabbed him and told him to stop. How can a guy bully a little girl in broad daylight? They said that first they would arrest him, and the little girl was allowed to go back to her place. Lan Wu began to cry and say that she was so scared she thought the bad uncle would grab her. The girl thought that he was lucky that she didn't kill him at all for what he did. Looking at her, Li Taishuan asked, "Is she causing trouble again?" The girl replied that this would not happen again. The guy's phone rang. It was manager Mu Dong Wansuo. She told the guy to come there as quickly as possible. Because of him, the girl returned to China and insulted the famous director, so he should apologize to him. The guy replied that he was busy and then hung up. Lan Wu asked the owner who just called, "Isn't this the celebrity he protected in Hucho?" She told the owner that she thought that woman was really passionately in love with him, but don't be deceived. Don't mess with her anymore. The phone started making sounds again. Ask for forgiveness. The man said that most likely this matter should not bother him, but the daughter of his old friend Mu Dong Ruyun offended a large family in Hannan province. Big trouble. He recently left the country, so the man is a little busy. Could the guy help? Handing the girl's phone number, Li Taishuan told her to get on with it. Lan Wu took the phone in her hands and immediately began shouting that the woman near her owner would not put up with another one. So let her know her place. Otherwise she would find her, put her on a skewer, and cook her. Mu Dong Wansu said that she understands that this is her own problem and should not worry him. Let him not listen to them and not come. The man shouted for her to give him the phone. He started shouting into the phone that it was the guy who made him lose his investment. If it weren't for him, the man wouldn't have lost so much money. If the guy interfered in his business again, he would destroy his family. Li Taishuan asked, "Will destroy his family?" This is a threat. He would like to see how he can do it. The man shouted incessantly that he was telling him that if the guy came, he would find out what the consequences would be. The guy thought about it. Their goal is Hannan province to repay the Jiang family for their kindness. But this is not in a hurry. He will have time to help Mu Dong Wansuo first. The man shouted at the girl not to be so shameless. How dare she call someone in front of him? Although he is a famous director in China, he can only break the contracts of second- and third-rate actresses. But this girl should not be so self-confident. He would not dare to touch her, but that does not mean that someone else will not touch her. He started shouting that the girl last time, when she was abroad, they worked with international director Ryan, but she left the set without permission. Does she know that thanks to the advanced promotion of the film, many fans knew that she was the main actress, so they were happy. And what did the girl do to them in the end? After the film's release, the box office receipts were, to put it mildly, terrible, and it was also a curse and humiliation for the pose. He has been in the entertainment industry for many years, but this is the first time a man has suffered such a fiasco. And on top of that, he received huge reprimands from investors behind the scenes. His investors then told him that the man would never receive money from them or other investors again. He begged and said that if he didn't have an investor, he wouldn't be able to make films. He begged on his knees for over an hour before he was given another chance. So he told the girl to go and have a drink with the investors of their film. If she makes them happy, they can work things out easily. For the sake of his career and future, he must convince Mu Dong-wan-suo. She must understand that kindness comes with a price. He is simply asking her to have dinner with Mr. Ni. The man is not sending her to death. Why is she resisting so much? Why does she refuse? Does she think she has that right? The director told her that if it weren't for her trick, does he think this film could have failed? It's all because of her. She dragged the whole team to the bottom. The only way to save her now is to have dinner with Mr. Ni. He said it was just a dinner party. If a girl does this, the whole team will be grateful to her, after which she will be able to choose any role from his scripts, and he will be happy to serve her. And then he's going to send it to Hollywood and show it to the whole world. Let him make her the #1 star in the whole world. Mu Dong-wan-suo replied that she refused. The girl asked, just a dinner party? If it's so simple, maybe then it'll go away on its own. Don't let him think that she doesn't know what's on his mind. If he asks, then she would rather die before saying yes. The woman was thinking that today she should have brought the girl to apologize to Mr. Zhao. But Wang Suo is straightforward, and now she has completely offended him. That Li Taishuan is useless, she thinks about him so often, and even called him, but he didn't even want to help her. Mu Dong-wan-suo asked Mr. Zhao to stop persuading her, and even if she had not left the filming, this film would never have been a success. The girl suggested starting with a script. He hired a third-rate writer to write a script that was without connection and full of holes just to save money. Also, his special effects team is unprofessional. They did rude, sloppy actions. All this time he was just trying to feed crap to the audience, and I hope they will eat it. So all those curses and accusations are his own fault. The man shouted that no actress had ever dared to behave like that in front of him. Let this girl stop talking nonsense. The woman tried to calm him down and told him not to be angry. The girl simply did not understand what she was saying. She knows how much effort Wansuo has put in to get to where she is now, and she can't just stand by and watch her career slide into preaching. She has to help her. The woman told Mr. Zhao not to be angry. The reason she didn't dare to go there was because she was worried about the investor, Ni Xiao. She heard that Mr. Ni is a real playboy because his family just moved to Hannan, so she thinks she knows how to help them meet Miss Wanso with an investor. The man replied that he would stop mumbling and let him finally speak. The woman said that, in fact, she had a classmate from 3 regions. He was also from a rich family, so they most likely moved in the same circle. If she asks him to intervene, maybe he can help them work things out. What does he think? Mr. Zhao replied that it was up to him to decide, but they had to go together. If her classmate cannot help, the girl will have to accompany Mr. Ni with joy and comfort. Otherwise, she will never be able to work in the entertainment industry again. He will bring her down from heaven to earth, turning from a big star into a third-rate actress who will be despised by everyone. He thought that even if the girl did not pretend to be noble, the man would prefer that she was in the hands of Mr. Ni, then he would not have to report to him. But since her manager said that her classmate is also a rich young man, maybe he knows Mr. Ni, so first he will let her try to settle the matter. Mu Dongwonsuo replied that it was fine. She agreed with this plan, but if that Ni dared to do anything with him, even if she had to risk her life, she would not allow him to succeed. Turning to Miss Wansuo, the woman said that her classmate would help them with this. Suddenly they heard the question, "Is that small ant of the second generation worth all this trouble?" Running up to him, the girl thought it was really him, the person she missed so much. Lan Wu told the owner that she knew that this woman was in love with him. Let her owner be released soon. Li Taishuan replied that he knows everything. Now the guy is nearby, so no one will dare to touch her. The man thought that the girl had called someone powerful, but it turned out that he was a simple poor man with a tattered bag from a landfill. Calling him a bastard, the man shouted that he warned him not to interfere, but the guy came anyway. And he said that he would figure it out completely? How did he get his tongue to say something like that? Li Taishuan asked, who gave him the right to talk to him in such a tone? And what kind of family is he talking about? They will have to kneel before him and apologize. The man shouted at the guy to shut up. Is he crazy? Does he even understand what he's saying? Ni Xiao's reputation is thicker than his thigh, and one of his hairs can crush him to death. Great. Does the guy like to show off? Then let him go with them to that guy. He will see how he will behave in front of him. The woman told the girl that she didn't want to seem rude, but if she fell in love with a nice, outstanding guy, the woman wouldn't say anything. But this one is just a poor, ordinary boy. Let him listen to her. Someone like him doesn't deserve a girl. He's from a completely different world. Sister Liu asked the guy where he was from, and from what family. Li Taishuan replied that he was from Yunzhou, the Li family. Looking at the girl, she asked, "Did you hear everything?" Yunzhou is a small, preferential city, and she had never heard of such a family. How dare a poor child like him, with no money and no power, take responsibility for her? The woman asked him, does he even know that it was because of him that the girl went so far? Does the guy even realize the consequences of his actions? Even though the Nai family recently moved from Huzhou to Hannan province, how dare the guy say that he will beg for forgiveness on his knees? If he is smart, he will have to apologize to the Nai family later. Mu Dongwonsuo told her sister that dad should believe her. Li Taishuan is an unusual person. It was he who saved her from those foreign kidnappers. When the girl first met him, she also treated him badly. But after he saved her from an explosion in an abandoned factory, the girl completely changed her mind about him. The woman told her that she must have been fooled by this guy. She heard that it was the deputy head of the Mindform clan, Tian Xing, who volunteered to help, wasn't it? Li Taishuan replied that if it weren't for this girl's inclination, the two of them wouldn't even be able to talk to him. In his eyes, the Ni family they praise so much is nothing more than a dog that should kneel and beg for mercy. The man shouted that if the guy has courage, hopefully he will still be as arrogant in front of Ni Xiao himself. I thought that's right. I need to take this guy to him. He can take care of him. The woman replied that honestly, there are many young people in the entertainment industry who are better than him, and they are all modest and reserved. Does he think saying such meaningless things will show how good he is? But the more he does, the more petty and ignorant he looks. Li Taishuan replied that stop talking nonsense and it's time to go. Let's not waste our time. The man replied that he would not let this poor man into his car. He was afraid that he would dirty it. Wang Xiao told Liu Li that he was recently on air. The star, Mu Dongwonsuo, and the director openly live in each other's parts. Most likely, there will be a huge hype about this topic now. He had just gotten off the high-speed train and walked over there. The guy began to tell subscribers that the star and the director were tearing each other apart, and Mu Dongwonsuo herself invited him there to act as a mediator. Liu Li told the guy that he should stop filming. The girl is a big star. He will ruin her popularity. The woman said that they could not talk to Ni Xiao because of their high status, so they had to invite the guy to this meeting. No matter what, he must help her with this. The guy replied, "Not to worry, it's okay." He knows Ni Xiao very well, so he'll put in a good word so everything will be fine. But he heard that the Ni family had recently suffered great losses in Huzhou. They say that some young man drove them out of there. That's why the guy has been in a bad mood since he came to the province. Even he has to be careful. He would advise a woman not to bring someone who might be redundant there. She said that she also wanted someone not to go there, but this guy just said that Ni Xiao was like an ordinary dog who would kneel down and beg for mercy. Turning back, he saw the same guy. I asked if this was the same poor loser. Where did he even come from? And that wild girl too, why is she everywhere? The guy said that if he dares to speak rudely to Ni Xiao, he will definitely not live. He will throw him out the window right here. Li Taishuan replied that if he continued to scream, he would definitely throw him out the window. The guy asked who he was to talk to him like that. The woman told him to forget. He is just a poor village boy who has never seen the world. If they continue to argue with him, they will stoop to his level. The guy replied that for the sake of Liu Li, this time he would forgive him. If he dares to say anything again, he will be finished. Turning to the girl, the woman said that there was no offense to her. Let her look at her boyfriend. With such a man, her whole life would be ruined. Mudong Wansuo replied that the woman does not understand. He is the best person in the world. She is lucky that she met him in her life. Liu Li replied that maybe she doesn't know something, but her sister sees how things are. Don't take all his words at face value. She will regret it later. Wang Xiao added that she was right. It's like a flower in a dung heap. He can't believe that the star said that. The guy told the poor man to behave well when he saw Ni Xiao later. Otherwise, he would have to beg for forgiveness if he angered him. The man told Ni Xiao that he brought Mudong Wansuo there. Everything was done in the best possible way. Let him play with her as he wishes. If she does not obey him, he will take care of her. The guy replied that, okay, since he did a good job with his business, he will continue to invest in his films. The man thanked Master Ni Xiao for his help, but he said that one poor guy appeared who volunteered to help the girl, and it seems she is in love with him with all her heart. He warned him that Mudong Wansuo was the woman Mr. Ni Xiao liked, but the guy ignored this fact. He not only ignored him, but also said that if a man met him, he would have to kneel down and beg for forgiveness. Moreover, he called him a pathetic ant who is not worthy of that girl. The guy asked how dare he be so arrogant. Where did this impudent man come from, who dared to say such things about him? The door opened. Liu Li told Mr. Zhao that although this family is not one of the giants of high society in the city, but her classmate has many friends, so she is confident that he can talk to Mr. Ni. Wang Xiao replied, not to worry, he will take care of it. After which he ordered his 2 men to remove it. Let the subscribers watch how he will be an intermediary between the big star and the director. The guy told the master that he had not heard anything about what happened. It's all the fault of that poor man who pesters Mudong Wansuo. The guy will ask her to apologize to him in person, so please do him a favor and just forget about it. Having hit the guy, Ni Xiao shouted that he was worthless and asked why he should suddenly do him a favor. I bow, the guy began to say that Mr. is right. He is not even worthy of his dirt and from under his nails. Let him forgive him for being rude today and accept his apology. And in general, he would say that it's that guy's fault that he doesn't let her go. The man asked him not to be angry. The guy was right. The root of all those troubles was that poor young man. If not for him, the money that the man invested in the film crew would not have been wasted. Ni Xiao shouted, damn it, the 2 of them are with their Li. Don't they know that he hates that last name more than anything else in the world? How dare they mention this surname in front of him? The man asked him not to be angry. Now he will invite that guy here so that he can apologize to him. He shouted for the damn boy to hurry up and kneel before Ni Xiao to make amends. The guy shouted the same thing. Let him kneel down and apologize to him. Turning to his audience, he said that he used his own face to personally evaluate whether the blow was truly a worthy person. This blow was fast and powerful. But then he will have to change the name of the stream. Now it will be a stream of Ni Xiao beating the poor loser. The woman began to say that she could not believe that her classmate could not convince that guy. Does he even understand what's going on now? Li Taishuan to me because of this world, like a girl. He doesn't deserve her. But he is so arrogant that he said that even Ni Xiao would have to kneel before him. And now that the guy was there, why not say these words anymore? Li Taishuan was so impudent just now, and now he is sitting there. Basically let him show his impudence if he has the courage to do it again. Wang Xiao told him that he was most likely scared to death. Even though the Nai family had just moved there from Huzhou, they were still a high-class family. He is one of the leaders of the rich second generation of the entire southern part of China, second only to the young master. The guy is just a country doormat and he dares to insult him? The guy thought that, as expected from the popularity of big stars, the popularity of the stream reached an unprecedented number, more than 1 million viewers. If Li Taishuan apologizes to the guy and him on his knees in front of 1 million people, he will destroy all the pride he has. Li Taishuan replied that, as he already said, this is a family that is unattainable in his eyes, an empty place for him. When the guy sees him, he will have to get on his knees and start begging for mercy. So, what if the guy is arrogant? Since he has power in his hands, he can rightfully be arrogant. The man asked Ni Xiao, did the guy hear this? This guy is so crazy that he dares to say such things in front of him. He doesn't care about him at all. If you don't get rid of him, the guy will continue to undermine his authority. Wang Xiao replied that it was true. If he dares to provoke Ni Xiao, then he will become the enemy of the entire second generation. The guy will not even be able to understand how he died. So let him start asking not to be killed. With that guy's status and position, it would be very easy to kill him, too. Liu Li began to tell the girl that it was all his fault. Now no one could save him. Let her wait and see. Li Taishuan will be tortured to death by Ni Xiao, Li Taishuan asked. And it seems strange to me because he has been in this room for how long, but their guy doesn't even dare to turn his head. Can they guess why? Wang Xiao asked. Does he really mean that the guy is afraid to turn his head? Don't let him make him laugh. He just doesn't even want to see his poor face. Before he could finish speaking, Ni Xiao kicked him in the face and told him to get out of there. The guy has caused him a lot of trouble now. Does he understand that? Ni Xiao didn't understand how this could be. Their family had already fled to Hannan. Why was he there? Was the guy really not going to let them go? In the beginning, even a great martial artist like his uncle was killed by this guy, so he doesn't even dare to mess with him. He's completely screwed. The guy doesn't dare mess with Li Taishuan. Once you mess with him, you can't escape from him. He may want to die, but the guy definitely doesn't. Producer Zhao said that if he is no longer needed there, then he better go. Having hit him too, Ni Xiao shouted that it was better for him to immediately go to the next world. The guy shouted that it was all their fault, the two of them, for forcing the guy to meet this terrifying demon again. Put him on his knees. He immediately began to tell Mr. Li that he was very sorry. It's his fault. He begs him to spare the guy's life. Looking at Liu Li, the guy said that he told her. The one who is incomprehensible in her eyes will fall to his knees in front of him and ask for forgiveness. Now she believes him. Even if he hits him, the guy will not dare to object to him. Li Taishuan asked how dare he have dirty thoughts about Mudong Wansuo. Let him step aside and slap himself. Wang Xiao asked the guy what he wanted to do with him. Let him not forget that he is live. If he hits him before he can finish speaking, the guy will get a slap in the face. I headed towards the producer. The guy said that it seemed like he was trying to provoke him by saying that he was going to destroy his family. Next time he will tear out his tongue for such words. After talking on the phone, the man told the guy that he surprised him and admitted that he was wrong about him. The man didn't expect the guy to play dirty and pretend to be a wolf in sheep's clothing, but now he can't compare with the Wang family from the capital. In truth, a friend of his who is a big shot in the entertainment industry just called him to tell him that the Wang family will be there soon. Most likely they will come there to invest in his new film. If the guy hits him, his family will not let him go. In this world, force cannot solve all problems, and with such a simple person like him, they will not even take into account and will simply end him. The guy thought that the capital's Wang family was much more powerful than the Nai family. For them, this family is nothing more than an insect. The difference in power between them is not even close to the same level. He was thinking that the capital's Wang family was actually coming so soon. They would definitely take revenge for his family's past shame. This guy was definitely unlucky this time. The man told the guy that if this bastard is so confident in front of them, he should wait until the Wang family comes. They will watch him continue to be so arrogant. For that family, killing a loser like him would not be difficult. Looking at the man, Li Taishuan asked, "Did he tell him to get up?" He started shouting, "How dare a guy talk like that before his imminent death?" The family will be there soon. He wants to see the guy begging for mercy on the ground. Li Taishuan replied that he had never heard of that family. If they came, they would do what he said or end up like him. The man replied that they would still see who would kneel and hit themselves in the face. Liu Li thought that this guy was just a poor child from a small town. He doesn't even have any acquaintances in Hannan province, so how does he have the courage to go against the Wang family? The capital family is several heads taller than the Nai family, and even in the capital itself, they are considered the strongest. The Wang family is really looking for a director to invest money in their film, but they didn't expect that the choice would fall on director Zhao. She is sorry that he will no longer cooperate with the girl. Turning to the guy, she said that if he had not intervened, everything could have been different. He doesn't have the strength for this. Why is he making all this noise, destroying this girl's career? Li Taishuan asked, so did she want to send the girl into the arms of this beast for the sake of her career? The woman asked, did he think she wanted this? But it was the only way. Right now, it would be much better than getting involved with the Wang family. The guy asked, did he really think there was something on Earth that could cause him problems? The woman shouted that he didn't know what he was talking about. Later, she would watch him humiliate himself. The Wang family is considered very powerful in the capital. Compared to them, the guy is just a small stone at the foot of the mountain, insignificant and insignificant. If a sparrow has your ambitions with an eagle, and a mole compares his superiority with a dragon, isn't that a joke? If he didn't want to help the girl, he wouldn't even talk to them, let alone just hit them in the face. The door opened. The man said that his sister had finally arrived. Let her come in. He began to tell Mrs. Wang Fei that it was Director Zhao who they were most likely looking for. The woman told him to get out of the way. She was not there for him. A third-rate director like him has no right to talk to her at all. Walking up to Li Taishuan, she bowed and told him nice to meet you. Her name is Wang Fei, and this girl is her niece, Wang Jinan. On behalf of the capital's Wang family, she would like to establish friendly relations with him. They didn't understand how it was possible that a great family that even the Nai family couldn't make friends with took the initiative to make friends with this guy. And even with such a low bow, could this child really gain the favor of the Wang family? How many worlds had he saved in his previous life? To have such luck in this one, being on friendly terms with such a family, is everyone's dream, he would immediately agree. Li Taishuan replied that he had never heard of the Wang family. Not every insect has the right to be friends with him. Lan Wu added that for sure, they could at most be her master's henchmen, but not his friends. Watching from the outside, men didn't understand how one could be such a show-off. Does he even have a conscience? It was the family who took the initiative to befriend him, and he still dares to disagree? Same goes for them. The guy didn't know what he was doing. So crazy that he didn't even care about this Wang family if there was more to his past than just the Chu family from Huzhou. Wang Fei replied that the gentleman is right. He is a big man. By making friends with her, he lowers his status, but let him allow the family to show you their sincerity. Handing over her contact information, she said that she would please take it. Then she turned around and left. Turning to her aunt, the girl asked who this guy thinks you are. He speaks so arrogantly, as if he doesn't care about the Wang family. Wang Fei replied to her niece that she did not understand. Mr. Li was truly a great man. He had the right to be on an equal footing with their family. Wang Jinan asked what kind of big shot he is. She's never seen him before and he looks so ordinary. Compared to the rich and famous people she knows in the capital, he is not even close. Her aunt told her that there was something she didn't understand. When the woman was in Huzhou, she was lucky enough to witness an underground tournament held by the big shots of the city, where many masters were defeated by Ni He, the best of the Nai family. But when Mr. Li came on stage, he slapped Ni He to death. Ni He was almost a great master at that time, which means that the guy was at least already a great master. A few months ago, the Ni clan was the one who relied on Ni He's strength and authority to rampage through Huzhou. They even brazenly sent people to kill the head of the Chu family. But now, the Ni family has been exiled to Henan province with the Chu family. The reason for this is because the Chu family has become friends with Mr. Li. Soon after, she reported this to the family, and the higher-ups took it very seriously, so the woman had to contact Mr. Li no matter what. The master can lead the family to glory and join the ranks of the nobility. Let the girl remember, it is a great achievement for the Wang family to have a relationship with Mr. Li. Unfortunately, she was too busy, so she had to leave Huzhou City, after which the woman tried to find out where Mr. Li was. As soon as she heard that Mr. Li was in Henan, she hurried there without delay. Wang Fei said that although the master rejected her proposal, she will not give up. They will use their sincerity to produce Master Li. She said that it was funny, those idiots, not knowing what kind of terrifying person they were facing, dared to raise their voices in the presence of Mr. Li. Li Taishuan said, what did he already say? Who allowed him to stand up? The man immediately fell to his knees again. Stepping on his head, the guy asked, does it mean he wants to destroy the girl's career? And even for this purpose, he decided to team up with other directors. The man shouted that he didn't dare. He would never dare say that again. Li Taishuan replied that it was too late. Today he will teach him a lesson. If he dares to ruin the girl's career, he is there. He thinks that without a head, a man will no longer be able to make films. The two of you immediately bowed and began to tell the master that they were wrong. Suddenly, they noticed that the guy passed by. Wang Xiao said that this devil has finally left. He asked Master Ni, they can't just let him go. He's just pissed off at how the guy acted. Even though they can't beat him, they still have something. He said that this is Henan province. Even if the Wang family came from the capital, what's the big deal? They just have to work together to kill that guy without anyone knowing. Suddenly, something exploded right in front of them. As it turned out, Lan Wu stayed with them. Liu Li asked the guy for forgiveness and told her that she was very sorry that everything had turned out this way. Mu Dong Wansuo thanked him and invited him to dinner tonight. Li Taishuan replied that he was not interested and then left. Lan Wu told the owner that insects like them dared to provoke him. He should have ordered her to eat them. Why did he leave them alive? Li Taishuan replied that they were just a bunch of helpless people in this world, so he never cared. In his eyes, only those who can become immortal can live in harmony with heaven and earth, shining as eternally as the sun and the moon. The guy said it was time to go. His father just wrote him an SMS and said that his friend's daughter was still waiting for him at the station. The girl asked Shinrai why the person she was waiting for had not yet come. Who the hell is he? She can't believe that she's already been waiting for him for so long. Jinrai replied that he was the son of an old friend of her father. The guy was traveling by train from Yunzhou County. If her father had not told her about this again and again, the girl would not have waited a minute. She had an appointment today to negotiate a contract, but if they wait any longer, she's afraid she won't make it in time. A friend asked, "Is this a small provincial town? Why does the village bigwig from Yunzhou come to her for no reason? He must have an ulterior motive. She must be more careful." Jinrai said that, by the way, her cousin just called her and said that she asked someone to help her and asked her to treat him well. Her cousin told her that the man was very capable and he would definitely be able to help the girl solve her family's crisis. But can only one person solve the situation of the Jiang clan? Her cousin had already sent so many people there, but they all returned with nothing. This time, it looked like it would be the same. But the girl would never lie to her. She is the general director of Ouyang Group in Huzhou. She said that he is capable, so it is so. A friend asked her who the guy her cousin sent was. Did she send a photo? Jinrai replied that it seems the girl sent her several photos. The girl asked if her cousin had sent all those photos that she had taken secretly, after which the girls opened the photo of their son to the uncle they were supposed to meet. Jinrai asked her friend what she thought, that Li Taishuan looks a little like the photos her cousin sent her. Don't you think the girl? The girl replied that she was joking. Her cousin is the #1 CEO in the city. If you look at him, he is just an ordinary village simpleton. How does he know that girl? Jinrai replied that it was true. The poor village boy from Yunzhou could not compare with her cousin. He could not even compare with her cousin's little finger. Looking at his appearance, the girl thought of carrying such a shabby bag, a real hillbilly. The girl's friend approached and said that he was terribly slow. Didn't he have a sense of time? He knows that they have been waiting for him for more than 3 hours. Doesn't he really care about their time? If her boyfriend wasn't supposed to come to Hannan today, she wouldn't wait for him. Li Taishuan replied that something happened halfway, so he was delayed. Jinrai thought that he was 3 hours late for their first meeting, and he seemed reliable to me. Maybe, as Ranran said, he is a hillbilly from Yunzhou who is up to something. The girl began to tell him that he made them wait there for 3 hours for no reason. Today she was supposed to meet with the head of the company, but due to the fact that he was late, they most likely left without waiting. It was a big contract worth 10 million. Does the guy even imagine her losses? Li Taishuan replied that this is just a contract for 10 million. What's wrong with that? Jinrai asked with such a bold tone. Does she say only 10 million? Since he is so brave, maybe he will negotiate for her. The guy replied that it was possible. He came to Hannan to repay Uncle Jiang for saving his father's life. The girl asked what he wanted to say, that the guy was there to repay the favor. Ranran added that he is just a poor child. How can a guy repay? Does he just want to have a connection with someone who has a higher social status? Suddenly, Jinrai remembered that her father had mentioned to her about his engagement to Uncle Li's son, and it seems that this son's name was Li Taishuan. But that was 20 years ago. In their days, the idea of getting engaged from childhood was a thing of the past. But her father was a man of his word. He never took back his words. Did this guy really come there to do this? And her family may be in shambles, but a poor guy like him, with no money and no past, how can he be her mate? Does he still have the courage to say that he is there to repay her father too? Li Taishuan asked the girl to take him to Uncle Jiang. The guy wants to personally thank him on behalf of his father. The girl thought that as soon as he saw her father, she was confident that his foxtail would show itself very quickly. What does it mean to thank him personally? He just wants her family's money. The girl will not marry this scumbag. She thought, why not give him problems so that he does it and leaves? Then his father shouldn't get angry? Jinrai asked. Didn't he say that he would help her with these 10 million negotiations? Then she wished he would do it now. The guy thought that part of the property in the Avenue of 1,000 Flowers had already been sold. So he now had tens of millions in the bank. He could just give them the 10 million, but his father wants him to solve their family problems at the root. Li Taishuan asked the girl to tell him who she was negotiating with, and he would help her. The girl replied that she was afraid it would not be so easy for him. This is a subsidiary of the capital's Wang family. Now he understands how difficult it is. The Wang family is a big family in the capital. They are rich and well-connected. If the guy can establish a partnership with this family, the Jiang family can use this opportunity to become the best family in Hannan again. Li Taishuan replied that it would be even easier than he thought. Recently, this family begged him to become their friends. Now, he will call them. The girl asked why he was joking with her. Ranran told her friend to just look at him, but he's leading them by the nose. The girl replied that it was the first time in her life that she had seen such a tiresome guy, the Wang family said, begging him to become friends. Why shouldn't he show off something else? The girl told her that, okay, there are all kinds of birds in the big forest. You shouldn't get to know such people too closely, and not only will they stoop to his level. The girl offered to see where his own lies would lead him. The friend answered what to look for. He would say that the call did not go through, or the signal was bad. She often saw this. Approaching him, the girl asked what his friends from the Wang family said. The guy replied that the phone was turned off. Ranran told her friend what was to be expected. Lan Wu told the owner that these two women are ungrateful. Obviously, he is there to help her, and yet the girl talks to him like that. She suggested just leaving her alone and letting the Jiang family die forever. Li Taishuan told her not to pay attention to these little things. Don't stoop to the level of these insects. They think superficially. Ranran asked permission to ask him a couple of follow-up questions. She heard that one of the financial tycoons recently made a shocking decision that could potentially affect the volatility of their stock market. What does he think about this? The girl just wants to find out for her friend whether this person really has any abilities, or is he just pretending to be a hillbilly? He replied that he doesn't care about her tycoons, whom the girl praises so much. In his eyes, they are nothing. In his previous life, he had treasures on more than hundreds of planets, so many of them that it was impossible to count them. He doesn't even care about the land, let alone some small financial tycoon. The girl thought that this guy was very good at pouring into her ears. He has no powers, but he's so arrogant it just doesn't make sense. She asked him again what he thought the requirements would be for a corporation to list its shares. Jinrai said that since he doesn't know anything, how dare the guy say that he came there to repay kindness? So it was a joke? How about the girl buys him a return ticket and gives him 200,000 to leave Hannan? Ranran added that he wouldn't even have to do anything. They'd just pay him. So why wouldn't the guy just say yes to this tempting offer? The girl asked why he was silent. The guy doesn't want to say that 200,000 is not enough. Li Taishuan replied that he didn't need money. He was only there to repay Uncle Jiang's kindness. After the guy repaid, he would leave without their words. As for the negotiations, they will beg to sign that contract. The girl asked him that it's not at all a shame to lie to his face. This is a subsidiary of the Wang family. Even his boyfriend's company wouldn't say they would sign this contract, and he says they'll beg him to sign it? What a pity he is such a talker. Jinrai said that she doesn't know when the person her cousin called will arrive, but the girl's family is deeply in debt. So if they can't sign a contract for these 10 million, then she is afraid that this time the Jiang family may really not be. The girl asked what happened there. Why were so many people gathered on the road? Li Taishuan was the first to get out of the car. People around did not understand why this man was lying on the road in broad daylight. Could it be heat stroke? The girl shouted at him not to come there. It was most likely a setup with porcelain dishes, blackmailing people on the street. The girl told him to come back. This man must have fallen on the road on purpose. She thought that this guy was so stupid. He was not local to the city. If they started blackmailing him there, she would have to clean up all the mess behind him. Ranran said that the village people seem to like to get into trouble. She shouldn't interfere. She'll get into trouble herself. Li Taishuan felt the familiar ki of the immortal world. Could it really be coming from this woman? Opening her eyes, the girl thanked him for helping her get up. Having transferred some qi to the girl, he said that now everything is fine with her. Li Taishuan wondered, if this qi did not come from her, then where did it come from? The guy asked if she needed anything else. Handing over the box, the girl said that she had an old vase inherited from her ancestors. Would he like to take a look? Price is negotiable. Jinrai approached and said that, as she thought, the girl was right. He met a setup with porcelain dishes. Only a naive fool like him would fall for this. Girlfriend that he didn't listen to them from the very beginning, and now it's too late to regret it. He deserves this blackmail. People began to discuss that she just wanted to rip off money. She must be smuggling porcelain. She thinks this guy really got in the way. He definitely won't get off with a little blood. They knew it. Such a beautiful woman was lying on the road for no reason. She was just waiting for such a libertine. Jinrai told the guy that the best thing to do now is to call the police. It's not about money. It's about a moral disorder like this. She must be punished to the fullest extent. Otherwise, next time she will go hunting again. Ranran added that everything is right. There is no need to be polite to such people. Forgiving her this time will only encourage such people. She will try again. The girl replied that they understood everything wrong. She did not want to blackmail anyone. It's just that now she really needs money, and this antique of hers is also not a fake. She got it from her grandfather. The girl asked if she really found this vase in a trash heap and decided to sell it for money. Ranran thinks that she deliberately lay down on the ground and is now trying to scam people out of money. The girl replied that she didn't do it on purpose. Besides, if she didn't need money, she wouldn't have thought about selling the antique vase she inherited from her ancestors. Li Taishuan used the supreme immortal gaze. The guy thought, this is where he felt the kui from the world of immortals. It was hidden in this gourd. The girl said that if he wants this antique, 5,000 yuan will be enough. He replied that it was good. He would buy her antiques. The guy wrote her a check for 100,000. The girl began to say that this was too much. She didn't need that much. She only needed 5,000. She would return the rest. He asked her to just take the money. Jinrai asked the guy, doesn't he know that this man is an ordinary liar? He deceived him in such a simple, obvious, clumsy way. She doesn't even know what to say to him when he spends so much money on losing the vase. At least she only needed 5,000. He could have that money. Why give such a lot of money? By writing checks with large sums of money, does he want to appear rich? She thought that this guy was so stupid. He thought he was smart. He was hopeless. She must find a chance to get rid of him as soon as possible. Ranran asked, does he really believe that he can understand real antiques or not? The girl wouldn't even take this trash for free. Getting out of the car, the girl told him that she knew why he came there. But what he wanted, because her father was now in the hospital, he would not be able to see him even if he wanted. Opening the door, she saw her aunt and father. The girl asked, shouldn't he be treated in the hospital now? Why is the man at home? The man said that he asked his daughter to pick up her Uncle Lee's son at the station. Is this the boy? She whispered something in his ear, after which the man replied that she just had to wait a little longer. Why get so angry over such a small thing? And a contract is a small matter. If they can make a deal, they will make it. And if no, that means it's not fate. The man said that he was Lao's brother's son. No wonder the guy looked so familiar. He looked a lot like his father. He asked if this was not the same bag that the man gave to his father more than 20 years ago. He didn't think he'd still have her after all these years. After greeting his uncle, the guy introduced himself. He said that his father had repeatedly mentioned his kindness to him. The guy came to Hannon to repay his kindness. Uncle Jong replied that, as always, his father takes everything to heart. These are all little things, so don't worry. A woman intervened in their conversation and told him that, be that as it may, If her brother had not decided to save his father, he would not have received such a serious injury that almost killed him. Thus, due to the injury, the power of the Jiang family fell from a first-class family in Hannan City to an ordinary third-class family. The woman added that it was his father's fault that what happened to them. The guy is not welcome in their home, so he better leave now. Otherwise, his family will bring them bad luck again. Shinrai was thinking that she didn't want this guy to come there, but it seemed like her aunt said everything for her. Uncle Jiang shouted at his sister to shut up. How many times had he told her to keep her mouth shut and start listening to what he had to say? First, let her look at herself. She's almost 40 and still not married. And the reason why she doesn't have a husband is because she talks too much. If this guy came all this way to see him, then he was their honored guest. How can she kick someone out when she didn't even offer anything to the guest? Moreover, it was he who wished to save Brother Lao back then, and the man did not regret anything. The girl asked if her father was coughing up blood again. Looks like he's getting worse again. She asked her aunt why they returned from the hospital when her father was still sick. The aunt told the girl that her father did not want her to tell her now, but in fact, they were kicked out of the hospital. Jinrai asked, that is, how was he kicked out of the hospital? He's so sick, his body won't be able to handle it if this continues. Li Taishuan asked his uncle, is his illness related to the injury received 20 years ago? The man replied that the faithful one, the man who persecuted his parents 20 years ago, was the master of his mother's family. He was an unpredictable and evil person. After he hit him with his palm, his yin poison entered the man's body. All this time he was trying to recover. Now 20 years later the man has become much weaker, so he is now like a candle in the wind. He could die at any moment. After the words were spoken, he began to cough more strongly and lost consciousness. Shinrai shouted to call the hospital quickly. Looking at them, the guy said that he could cure Uncle Jiang's illness. The woman asked what he meant. Could he be cured? Is the guy joking? Even the best doctors in the city could not cure him. How could he cure him? He's not a doctor, is he? The guy replied, no. The girl replied that since he is not a doctor, let him not create even more trouble, okay? At this moment, a young man runs into the door and shouts that a man has come to them. He says that he can cure his old wounds. The woman asked if he really wanted to say that the heir to the Medicine Valley was there. She ordered to hurry up and take the head of the family to the bedroom. The aunt asked what was her niece waiting for. The heir of the Medicine Valley has come. Let him go with her and meet him. She had heard that the Medicine Valley heir was a disciple of the Medicine King Valley hidden sect. He would definitely be able to heal his brother's old wounds. The woman told Master Yao that the whole family would be grateful to him for healing her brother's old wound. The guy replied that everything was fine. The master ordered him to come down from the mountain for training. He was just passing by and heard that Master Jiang could not recover from his injury for 20 years. Looking at the girl, he said that he had heard that Miss Jiang was beautiful, like a heavenly goddess. But today, seeing her in person, he can say that the rumors were true. The girl replied that the master was overpraising her. Entering the room, Master Yao immediately asked who the guy was. The woman replied that he was the son of her brother's friend. The guy came from Yunzhou to visit the Jiang family. This guy is very unlucky. When he came to her brother, his condition worsened. Moreover, this guy is not even a doctor, but he dared to say that he could cure her brother's illness. How dare he? Master Yao said that the Jiang family used to be one of the best in Hannan province, and now they allow a village boy to associate with the head of the family. If they find out about this, they will be razed to death. He asked to take the guy out of there. The master wants him not to be disturbed by any insignificant garbage during the healing. The woman asked, did he hear what Master Yao said? Let him get out of there. Even if he is Lao Li's son, let him not blame the Jiang family for being rude if his brother's treatment is delayed because of him. Lan Wu shouted that since she dared to be so rude to her master, she should not belittle or cry to cure someone later. The woman asked, will she beg and cry to save someone's life? Funny joke from a hillbilly. The guy and his father are the curse of their family. Someone should take this child away from there. Shinrai asked her aunt to let him go. After all, this guy is her father's guest. If she drives him away like this, when her father wakes up, how will the woman explain this to him? Master Yao said that since Miss Jiang was asking for leniency, he would leave this guy alone and begin the healing process. The woman replied that it was true. First, we need to save her brother. He began to say that Master Jiang was suffering from an insidious poison, and it was so strong that no ordinary doctor could cure him. However, in the eyes of the heir of the Medicine Valley, this poison is nothing. These air needles are his specialty. Together with Deng Qing's secret divine needle, even if the head of the family has 1 foot in the grave, he can pull him back out. The woman said that it looked like the poison was disappearing from her father's body. Master Yao really healed him. Turning to the guy, she said, this is what the heir of the valley of the king of medicine is capable of, and now let him think about whether he was worthy of treating her brother. Shinrai told the master that her father's body had not yet recovered from the poison. Why didn't he continue to treat him? Master Yao answered the girl that free cheese is only in a mousetrap. He can save her father, but he has several conditions. The girl asked if he meant medical bills. She would pay whatever it took to cure her father's illness. The master replied that she was naive, too naive. He has 2 demands. One is that the Jiang family belongs to him from now on, and the other is that she becomes his woman. But if the girl refuses, he will immediately take the needles, but it is difficult to say whether Master Jiang's body will survive this poison. The girl asked, so did he stop halfway on purpose to blackmail them and force the Jiang family to agree to his terms? Laughing, he asked, and so what? If this is so, he will say even more. It was his order to escort her father out of the hospital. Without his approval as the heir to Medicine Valley, does anyone think anyone would dare to admit her Jiang family to any hospital in the province? The girl really wanted her family to rise again? If she becomes his woman, won't her wishes come true? Otherwise, without his needles, she will have to watch the head of the family die from poison. He will die a long and painful death. Aunt asked what should they do now. They can't cure her father halfway and then give up. Jinrai thought that for the sake of her father, for the sake of her family, even if she had to sacrifice herself. Li Taishuan said that this crappy Medicine King heir would not be able to cure even the weakest disease. The woman asked what nonsense the guy was talking about. How dare he say such nonsense to Master Yao? Let him immediately apologize to the master. He has no right to insult him. Master Yao asked if he had the courage to repeat his words again. Li Taishuan asked, so does that mean he is still deaf? It is not surprising that such mediocrity cannot cure even a simple disease. It looks like he is another charlatan and swindler. Master Yao asked, so the guy wants to say that he cannot cure this disease. The guy bowed to the king of medicine as his teacher as a child, and for more than 20 years he has been persistently